We now know what to put in our Toggl timesheets and what not to put in our timesheets. We also know how to log a job. Now we're going to learn how to edit these entries, how to backdate to add an entry that was missed, and talk about when is it appropriate to record time in advance. So let's start by looking at this timesheet. So if you can have a look here, we've got 3 jobs. First one's at 10 o'clock all the way up to the last one, which was at 12 p.m. Now, if you have a look here on the right, you can see when these jobs started and when they finished. So ideally, for good practice, every job that comes after each other should tee up. So the end of the first job is 10:45. The next job should begin on 10:45. Let's see if it happens for the next one. So it's 11:07, but here starts at 11 o'clock. We need to edit this. So all you have to do is click on the entry that you want to edit. Click it there. And we're going to change that. And click enter. And now it looks correct. We've got to make sure it's good practice to skim your eyes over your daily logs and see if it needs any little tweaking. We want to make our timesheets represent our days as close as possible, but also noting that it is just an approximation, and that's fine too. Okay, cool. See, our first job here for the day started at 10 o'clock, but we know that we actually did a job before that, but we didn't log it because we were off site. So now we need to backdate this job. So what do we need to do? It's this little button up here, add manually. So click that. Before we carry on, just note that it just changed to use timer. If you click use timer, it'll go back to recording the data live again. But we want to do it manually. So click add manually. The only difference here is the dates and the times is here. So we want to backdate to 8:30 a.m. when we had our offsite meeting. We want to tee that up so that it's the ending is the beginning of this one. So it's 10 a.m. We want to meeting with the Christchurch City Council. And oh, look, I entered it too fast and there's no project selected. Take note that this is what it looks like. And for every time that this happens, you need to select a project. So this is an external meeting. Bang. Does it look right? Time's right? Yes, perfect. Okay, so it's 12 o'clock. I'm about to go for lunch. But I know exactly what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my day. I've got a program to Pihiora, which I'll be running after lunch. And then I'm going to visit 2 whānau straight after the programs, one after the other. And that's the rest of my day. Because I know that these are locked in jobs, it's okay. This is an example where it's okay to record your time in advance. So how do we do it? We use this again. It's exactly the same as before. So at 12:30, I'll finish my lunch and I will run my program till 2:30. So to Pihiora at Burnside High School, select the project, don't forget the project, and it's contact time with young people. Great. Looks good to me. Save. Awesome. So that will finish at 2:30. Take note that these are all approximations, so it's okay if it's not perfect. 3:30. It's a home visit with Jeff's family again. So Morgan Whānau. And that looks right. Yes, and then we'll do it again. 3:30 p.m. all the way to 4:30 p.m. And that's with the Rogers Whānau. And same here, home visits. And save. Now we've edited an entry. We've added an entry. And we've even added an entry in advance, which is very similar. Cool? Awesome. It is key to note, if you do have to backdate more than a day, it can get quite stressful. It could consume quite a bit of your time trying to backdate. I highly suggest if you are backdating that you always refer back to your diaries, whether you're using electronic diary or your physical diary. It's a good way to go back and to figure out what you were doing on that day. That's if you forget, because sometimes you do forget more than a day of logging your timesheets. But try not to make it a habit. Try your hardest to record every day, because when you think about it, it can be quite stressful.